Goody everyone, this is Dayhawk bringing to you episode 55 of Shaman King 01. So the last time we saw the Yoh Yohs, they were trapped inside a magical cage, and we all assumed the X-Laws got the upper hand. But then Hal appears and grabs Lady John. And he burns her. He ends up burning her. And we see her getting burned, but there's this cutscene where she is just staring back at Hal and she's not screaming, and it's strange, and Hal is getting pleasure of watching her burn, and she lets her go, and all of a sudden the thorns that were inside the Iron Maiden grabs Lady John and puts her back in the coffin. And you see the power of the gate. You see the power of the gate like failing because Lady John is severely injured, and Lyserk is feeling helpless now because Lady John appears to be dead. And their master plan has fallen into pieces. But one of the X-Laws is telling Lyserk that no, she's still alive. She is recuperating inside the Iron Maiden. So she is okay, somehow. And the plan is still, the plan can still work. And you see Lyserk with his happy face on. And like, oh God. I'm still pissed off that he's willing to throw his once friend into and use him as bait to lure Hal and just use Yoh as a sacrifice to get rid of Hal. That's how deep his revenge is. And oh God, I don't want to do it. Don't do it. So you see Lady John recuperating, and oddly enough, we were expected to see burns, but she is there recuperating, and you see the gate in full power, and the X-Laws are willing to give up their life in order to get rid of Hal. And Hal is impressed by the X-Laws because they're willing to throw away their life for the sake of, Lady John and everything else. But he doesn't like the fact that they're using Yoh to get to him. And he doesn't like that. So he unleashes his followers on every X-Law. So you could see Lucisto with Marco, and you have a couple of others you see, and they're evenly matched. To me, I like the fight between Hal and the X-Laws. To me, it's pretty cool, in my opinion. Meanwhile, Silva and his friend decides to go over there and hopefully put a stop to this whole Gate of Babylon mess. Because I told you guys from the beginning that Gova and the others are not doing shit. They're just sitting there watching, and their excuses is it's the will of the Great Spirit. I'm like, is it really? Is it really? And again, I go back to the old Republic, where the Jedi just didn't do anything because they said, well, the Mandalorians are not the true threat. And if we go over there, we'll be vulnerable, this and that. But it took Revan and Malik and a several couple of Jedi and Republic soldiers to go handle the Mandalorian threat. Even though Revan went deep into the Outer Rim and turned Sith, and that's another story. it's just the same. It's the same here, except the extra stuff. But I don't want to go all rambling on. So Silva and his friend flies, and then in the next scene you see the Yoh Yohs are in the cage, and they're like, I don't want to help them, but we're too good. I mean, let's save them. And they're like, yeah, the X-Laws are jerks, but I mean, yeah, they're in tough pickle, but they have good morals, so they can't stand by and just let Hal kill off the X-Laws, because Lyserk is still their friend, even though they were about to be sacrificed. They try to break the cage, but they can't do it. And you see Hal's followers killing at least 3 X-Laws already. And all of a sudden, the cage started to disappear. And it's not by the strength of the Yoh Yohs. It didn't work. It's just the power of the cage just ran out, and they were released. And I think the X-Laws realized that Lady John either quote-unquote died, or just her Fuyoku just ran out. Either way, they were shocked. And the followers of Hal managed to defeat the X-Laws, and they're about to kill everybody. And luckily, the Yoh Yohs stepped in and defended them. And the X-Laws were, what the hell are you guys doing? And basically they said, as much as you guys are a bunch of jerks, we're not gonna stand by and get yourself and watch as you're getting slaughtered. That's not our way. Even though part of us wanted you to get your ass whooped, but not killed. And Marco was like, oh, I'd rather die than just be rescued by you. And I love Ren. I really do. Ren with a comeback. Ren said, if you want to die, do it somewhere we can't see you. Ouch, man. If you want to die, just do it somewhere else. I love Ren. And so the followers of Hal decide, you know what? We will get rid of all of you. So the match between the Yoh Yohs and the followers of Hal has just begun. And then we get to see Mikihisa just pop out of nowhere, literally from the sky, and kick Silva and his friend down, and sends them crashing down. The reason why Mikihisa did that is because he sees this as this is probably the best and only chance to get rid of Hal once and for all. That's one of the reasons why he went in and interfered. Yeah, they're desperate at this point. They're desperate. So Mikihisa just knocks them out from the sky. And then we get to see the showdown between Yoh and Hal. And it looked like, and you see in this scene that Yoh has the spirit of fire by the neck, while the spirit of fire pretty much has a punch almost to the face, if you can see. And so Yoh and Hal are fighting. And meanwhile, John recovers and activates the gate. And you see the gate forming that looks like the Tower of Babylon or the Tower of Pisa. And here comes Shamash, and he has a key, and you could see that on top from the sky, on top of the tower, there is a doorway into Babylon. So Shamash uses the key to open the door, and all of a sudden it acts like a vacuum. It was sucking up everybody within the gate's range. So you see John getting sucked up, you see the Yoh Yohs getting sucked up, you see Hal's followers getting sucked up, Manta getting sucked up, you see Hal getting sucked up, the spirit of fire, and then Yoh. And the last spirit in this case standing is Shamash. But the coolest scene ever, in my opinion, is that you assume that everything is okay, but the spirit of fire just grabs Shamash and just pulls him into the gate and just locks himself in. It's like, no you don't. You're coming with us. And so they're in inside the gate of Babylon, and it looks like everybody was walking aimlessly into nothingness almost, because you see in the scene where all these people are just walking to whatever, and you see all these woods, and it's weird because they look like zombies, and you see all these holes around them, and it's kind of eerie. But the two people who are unaffected by the gate's effects were Yoh and Hal. And somehow, which it wasn't made clear, like, how were those two unaffected, and how were they able to release everybody from the gate? You know what I'm saying? So that part to me was unclear. And you get to see Yoh and his friends and Hao and his followers, and they have a brief talk. We don't know what Hao said to Yoh, and we get to see Mikihisa and Silva and Kareem, and you see all these flashes of light, and then we discovered that these flashes of light are all the people that were sucked into the gate. So everybody's out, but people are still feeling the effects of the gate. They look like they've been knocked out. The Yoh Yohs have been separated while Hao and his followers were all together. And Hao is just sitting there saying that we came across a great meal. And you see the spirit of fire feasting on Shamash. And then in the last scene, we get to see Yoh at the top of some cliff, and and we get to see and hear what Hao told Yoh, and he said, "It seems that we no longer need to continue the shaman fight." And that's the end. So I'm guessing that now Hao is not going to continue on with the shaman fight, and he's going to get the Great Spirit on his own. And Yoh is pretty much, what's Hao is going to do? What he's going to do? Ooh. Man. So that's the end of the episode, guys. It was a fun episode. I enjoyed it. Even though, like I said, like, how did Yoh and Hao was able to release people from the gate and not be affected themselves? And also, I forgot to mention that I think, because I was told from Lady John that she needed everybody from the X-Laws, including herself, to use their Furyoku to power up the gate. But 3 X-Laws were killed. And I assumed that maybe that the gate wasn't at its full strength after the killing of the 3 X-Laws. Even though the gate did function well and sucked up everybody, it didn't have a full effect, I assume. Because, Hao and Yoh were unaffected and they were able to be released somehow. That's what I forgot to mention, but I don't know. It wasn't fully explained. Other than that, I hate Lyserg. He is a douchebag in my opinion. And yeah. Did you like the episode? Did you dislike the episode? Did I miss anything? Give a like if you like it. Give a dislike if you don't. I don't care. I was wondering if you guys already seen the original. Have I missed anything? What you thought about it? That sort of thing. Like, put it all in the comments down below. Subscribe. Don't forget that. And I will see you all on the other side of Oblivion. Johnny!